If you've got rounded shoulders, then this is the video that you're going to want to watch because I'm going to help you fix it today. Okay? But there's a test, and it starts right here. Do me a favor, Jesse, you can do it yourself.
Okay.
Keep your arms right here at your sides, really loose and relaxed. Okay? You might have to stand up to do this. And then extend your thumbs out. Just point your thumbs out. You got them?
Got them.
All right. Now, you at home and Jesse, I want you to notice what direction are your thumbs pointing right now. Where are they pointing? Yours are somewhat forward here. If your thumbs are pointing towards each other, which anybody with rounded shoulders is going to have, they're going to see that they're pointing almost directly towards each other, you got a major problem, and you're going to have to fix it. Okay? And I'm going to share with you the same exact thing we do with Jesse because Jesse didn't always have posture that allowed his thumbs to extend straight out in front of him. He actually looked like this, and we've come a long way. But 4 steps will get it done. I want to take you through all 4. Let's get going. And so the first of 4 things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to fix your mobility. Yep. But it's not your shoulder that you're worried about here. I understand it's what you might think, but really the problem is right here in your back. Your thoracic mobility is what's lacking. So to fix that, you lay on your stomach. I'm going to take Jesse through exactly what I did with him and what you guys can do. Your arms will be up overhead, just like that, in sort of a Y position. And all you're going to do is choose one side or the other. We'll choose this one, Jesse. You're going to open that up, roll yourself all the way to that side, and then try to keep your hips down as much as you can. So what that's doing is causing some rotation through the thoracic spine, and it's also causing extension. So what you're lacking right now, you're getting through this one feel-good stretch. You come back down after about 5 or 10 seconds, and then you roll yourself back in that direction. Now you're getting rotation this way, but more extension through the thoracic spine. Now, you do this about 1 or 2 times a day. 3 or 4 repetitions to each side is all you need, and I promise you it's going to start to really open up the extension through that upper back, which if that opens up, the shoulders can come up into the right position. If your back is rounded like that, I don't care what you do to your shoulders, it's not going to stick. Right. If you have access to a foam roller, you can lay out here, Jesse, you can actually use one of these. You probably see them at the gym. You put it right in this area of the upper back, that's the thoracic spine, and you lay yourself right over the top of it. Okay? Now, one thing that will actually make this more effective is if you have anything of any weight, this is just a medicine ball, you hold it on your chest and just let it drop you that way. Okay? It's actually just pushing down with a little bit more force to give you some, are you groaning over there?
Yeah, it feels good.
To give you some of that additional mobility work through that thoracic spine. When that's unlocked, you're already on your way to fixing those rounded shoulders, but there's more to do. The second thing you're going to have to do here is stretch something, because usually when the shoulders are in this position for too long, something gets tight. And because of something called upper cross syndrome, there's 3 muscles that tend to get tight together. The first 2 are, go ahead Jesse, assume that old position. The first 2 are going to be the upper traps and something called the levator scap that pull the shoulder blades up into this position like that. Okay? The good news is you don't really have to do anything about those, because once you establish that thoracic extension again, the mobility from the last drill, gravity will actually help to pull these shoulders back down out of that shrugged position. So that's good. That's easier for you. The third muscle, however, is one called the pec minor, though, and this you're going to have to do something about. Okay? Because this one runs from this point on your shoulder blade deep in your shoulder, and it connects down to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rib. So if it's connected to your shoulder blade, it's literally going to do 3 things. It's going to yank on this in the wrong direction. The first thing it's going to do, come a little closer, Jesse, right here, is it's going to pull the shoulder forward like that. The shoulder blade is going to want to go like that, okay, instantly rounding your shoulder out. The next thing is it's going to pull it around the corner like that. Okay, we don't want it to go this direction, but that's where that tight pec minor is going to put it. And then lastly, it's going to kind of rotate it down this direction here, like that. Okay, to do something about that, turn the other side, we want to stretch that out. We got to go this direction opposite, right? And it's important to know these directions so you can make sure you're getting your stretch right. You want this first and foremost to go back in that direction, okay? The second thing is you want it to go back around the corner in the opposite direction. And then the last thing is you want to be able to rotate it up this way as opposed to down. And you can see right away how that instantly improves the posture. But how do we do that in a stretch? Right here with a simple wall stretch or a door stretch. All you have to do is step through a door, so you get into a door frame like this. The first thing you do is you put that bony bump of your shoulder up against the inside of the door frame. Okay, and you push it back. So instead of having it in this rounded position, let the door frame help push you back. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're retracting your shoulder blades, right? So instead of it having wrapped around this way, wrap it back around that way by pinching your shoulder blades together. Are you doing that?
Yes, sir.
The last thing, to get the rotation in the right direction, you want to put your arm up on the inside of that door frame. And then just let it slide up, because as we slide our arm up, it starts to rotate the scapula up instead of down. You can feel that?
It feels great.
You can literally see this muscle that we just drew out here being stretched up into that position. All you have to do, 30 or 45 seconds on both sides, maybe once, twice a day, but just be consistent with it. You're going to really start to stretch that out and help to fix that. There is another thing you could do too. Because we know it's not just the pec minor that gets tight, but the pecs as well as something called the subscapularis, which can internally rotate the shoulder. You can do one more doorway stretch. This time you step through with your outside leg, step through the door, the other leg, step back in the door itself. Now put your hand up on your ear like this. This is just to establish the right height. Once it's on your ear, you extend and make contact with the door and keep your elbow on the inside of that frame. And that's all you got to do is you start leaning forward and rotating through. You feel that?
Yeah.
You can slide down just even a little bit. You get external rotation at the shoulder, right, to work on that subscapularis, and you also stretch out the pecs here. These two stretches, again, really quick, just be consistent with it, will go a long way towards reversing the roundedness that you're dealing with now from a stretching perspective, but there's still something you got to strengthen. So now you've stretched, well, what do you have to strengthen? Well, it's the things that get affected by the tightnesses that we just covered in the last step. So if everything is in this position here, go ahead, Jesse, then what gets stretched ultimately winds up becoming weak. So all these muscles that just kind of get rounded out like that, meaning the lower trap muscles that run in through here, even the mid-scapular muscles that are up here like the rhomboids, they all are not as strong as they need to be. And 2 exercises will do a lot to go a long way to fix that. And all you have to do is take a band like this and you anchor it to anything, to a doorpost or to a stairwell post, anything you could anchor it firmly. You put it at about chest height. You're going to put your hands inside the band with the back of your wrist up against the band like that. Okay, let the wrist do the work for you, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to spread them out until your arms are right at about 90 degrees or so. And then from there, you're going to pull straight back. This is basically a variation of a face pull, right about to the level of your chin. And then from that position, reach straight up overhead. That's going to work the lower traps, okay? Nice and controlled. Come back down. And then let your hands come forward again. Okay, all you have to do here, guys, is execute quality repetitions, because people think that this is like getting it done as fast as possible. That's not what's going to retrain these muscles to become capable of putting you in the right posture. If you treat each one like one definitive repetition for quality, then that's going to help you to do this. 10 repetitions of high quality will do it for me. Again, only a few times a week is needed to make this actually have an impact. The next exercise you could do is actually detach this from there, and we do just some variation of a pull apart. Another simple exercise that all you're going to do is start your hands up high like that, right at about a 45-degree angle. You're going to make sure that you're reaching in this direction without leaning or rounding to get there. So I don't just want you to have your arms here, but I also want you to feel like you're pushing them as far out as you possibly can. Now, from that point, you're going to pull the band down to about the level of your chin, but rotate your hands out as you go down. You got that, Jesse?
Got it.
All right, you feel that?
Feel it.
All those muscles that we just talked about being weak. And also on the way back up, if you control that on the way back up, you eccentrically get to work some of the muscles that we just worked on concentrically here. So again, a set or two, good high quality repetitions, mix them in regularly throughout your week, and the strengthening component, again, very specific, will go a long way towards helping to unround those rounded shoulders of yours. So you've mobilized, stretched, and strengthened. There's one thing left to do. And I'm sorry, but you're going to have to establish a couple new habits. And that is, you got to reinforce what you just worked on, and that sometimes is the hardest part, but there's a couple ways we can make that really simple, and the first is just with a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. Because when you're at your office chair, you want to remind yourself of the position you want to be in, and all you have to do is take this ball, lean forward, put it right here, right about the level of the shoulder blades. You put it there, you lean back into your chair, and the rest of it's pretty easy, because here, your job is just to be able to keep that ball in contact with the chair. Because if Jesse decides to get a little bit lazy throughout the day, that ball is just going to roll down his back. And remind you that you got to fix that posture again. It's simple, it's quick, it's easy, and it's something we all can do. And for those that are looking for more of those easy reminders that can help to build those habits, here's one more for you. Just take your thumb and put it up against your fingers like this. Okay, now take the thumb and put it flat up against your sternum, the bone that's right here up against your chest. Now, ideally, if your shoulders are in the right position, you should create a flat surface here that will actually allow you to balance something on it. Oh, our ATHLEAN-X pre-workout, actually, conveniently. Now, because this is so precious, we don't want to drop it, but what would happen if you were in this position, you started to lose that posture? Well, then we drop a really perfectly good RX1 on the floor, which we don't want to do.
No.
So what can we do to reinforce this throughout the day? Well, if we know that the sternum is attached to the clavicles, these bones right here, then we know we can control the clavicles. So all we do is we take our fingers like this, and we hook them right up onto the clavicle. You feel that?
Yep.
Now, instead of just trying to pick them up like that, that's not the real fix. What you want to do is try to open them up. Spread the hands and fingers as far apart as we can. So we're lifting up, but also opening up. And once you do that, you will literally put yourself in the perfect posture again, serving as a reminder of where you want to be so that you can have those rounded shoulders be a thing of the past. Now, if you want that ATHLEAN-X pre-workout, you can find that at ATHLEAN-X.com. If you want to fix this problem, because it might be coming from somewhere else, like anterior pelvic tilt, which is also quite common, make sure you check out this video over here. And also, if you haven't done so, click subscribe and watch our latest video, guys. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Leave your comments below if it did, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.